Vegan Finds Day Infinity of the Quarantine Edition. Today we are going to be taking this, I'll take it out of the plastic so you can see it a little bit better, in case you were wondering. Taking this beautiful head of cauliflower. We're going to turn it into gnocchi. So I'm going to make vegan gnocchi with cauliflower. No, buddy, hold on here. I have a little piece there. That'll keep him quiet for a second. So we're going to turn this into cauliflower. We're going to turn potatoes into we're going to turn cauliflower into gnocchi, potatoes into gnocchi, both vegan, and we'll see which one we like better. I'm going to say potato because I like potatoes. My wife will probably say cauliflower because she likes cauliflower. And my dog will eat either one. They're agnostic. So hold on and I'll start this recipe. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is break down the cauliflower into the florets. So you really want to get as little of the stem as possible on there. I like to break it down a little bit more. And what we're trying to do is get 4 to 5 cups of cauliflower. So once I cut down the 4 to 5 cups of cauliflower, I will show you the next step, which is to put it into a what the heck do you food processor? That's the word I'm looking for. Food processor, yes. So that's what we're going to be doing in the next step, is basically ricing the cauliflower, because we're going to rice it and then we're going to steam it in the microwave, and then we're going to basically squeeze out whatever excess water that is there, and essentially add some flour to it, so that way you can create a dough with this. So I'm going to start cutting this up, and I'll be back with the next step. Okay, so in here I have just about 5 cups of cut up cauliflower, and I'm going to add that to the bowl of my food processor. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to process this down until it's the size of little, almost rice grains. If you're familiar with cauliflower rice, this is the next step to making cauliflower rice. You'll have to excuse the enthusiasm of my dog. He loves cauliflower. Worst mistake we ever did was introducing the dog to cauliflower. So anyway, I will show you what the riced cauliflower looks like in the next step. Okay, so this is what the cauliflower looks riced. You can see it's very fine grains. They're, really no big pieces. You want to try and minimize any big chunks. You might have to actually do it in 2 times. Basically, I ran it through. I pulled out some of the things that didn't get pulsed right away. And you want to do this on pulse. You don't want to just let it go because it'll turn to mush real quick. So you pulse it a bunch of times, take out any big chunks, pulse it again, take out any big chunks, pulse it again, and you're all good. So now I'm going to microwave what we have here for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to put it into a strainer that's been lined with some paper towels, because essentially we want to get as much of the moisture out of this, because otherwise the dough is going to become incredibly gluey and nasty. So you really want to pull as much of the moisture out of the cauliflower as humanly possible. Okay, so here's the riced cauliflower. It's going to go into a colander. Don't take my potato skins away. These are the potatoes that I'm going to be using to make the potato gnocchi. So you can see I've already baked them and I'm peeling them at the same time. So I'm going to try and kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. So I will be back, but what you want to do is you kind of want to get this on a towel, because you're going to be squeezing out a lot of liquid with the cauliflower. So I will show you how that's done in a moment. Okay, so you can see there's quite a bit of water in this um, cup here from just draining the cauliflower, and just so you think, oh, it might be dry enough. Well, I guarantee that if I press on this some more, which I'm going to do, I don't know if you can hear that, but more water is coming out. So there's a lot more that could be pressed out of here, and you try and get as much out as humanly possible while still maintaining your sanity of waiting to finish your cooking. Okay, so as you can see, I've kind of floured my work surface, and I'm going to add the cauliflower dough to our work surface here to get it ready. And you can see it's kind of sticky, and it definitely sticks together. So we're just going to add that to the surface here and start incorporating the rest of the flour into this, and I will show you the next step in just a moment. Okay, so what I did was I pulsed the flour into the cauliflower mix, and I used slightly north of a half a cup of flour. We are using the King Arthur gluten-free measure for measure flour, so you can see it right there, which is found in almost all major supermarkets. I've got a little bit on the board here, and I'm just going to take the dough out, and I'm going to begin the rolling process. But you'll use anywhere from a half a cup to 2/3 of a cup of flour. This particular flour has xanthan gum, so you might need a little bit less than if you had a recipe that did not have a flour that does not have xanthan gum in it. Xanthan gum gives it a little bit of structure, so it'll hold together better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of roll this into a ball, then I'm going to portion it out and roll it into long strips, and I'm going to turn on some water to start the boiling process. Okay, so this is a really super soft dough, still pretty moist, and so I'm just kind of gently rolling this out into snake-like tubes that we're going to eventually cut into our gnocchi. So basically you just want to be real gentle, try and keep things as evenly as possible in terms of the size, and just keep rolling while the water is getting ready. You want these to kind of sit a little bit because they should firm up, hopefully, fingers crossed. This is the first time I'm actually making these, so and I've never when I say first time, just going off the cuff here based off of what I know from making potato gnocchi, that this should work, but cauliflower's got a lot more moisture to it, and I can tell you that the very first time I ever made gnocchi, it looked incredible until it went into the pot, and then from there all hell broke loose, and unfortunately I thankfully had a backup pizza because it just all fell to pieces. So once the water is boiling, I will show you the final stages to this, and hopefully we will get to tasting it with some marinara sauce, although you can use any kind of sauce you like. For those who are familiar, Trader Joe's makes a cauliflower gnocchi as well, and we're trying to basically make that here. Okay, so here are the gnocchi. They've been cut. They're about I'd say about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch long. The water is getting ready to boil, and we're going to see how well they cook. Now you could just pan fry these as well. We're going to try and boil them first and then pan fry them, just because that's how I've always done it. But from what I understand from other people who've made stuff like this, pan frying it could be okay, but I think the boiling will help cut back on the floury taste that can sometimes occur with not potato gnocchi. Okay, so you want to boil the gnocchi for basically 3 to 4 minutes until they just start coming to the surface, and as you can see, they are just about there. I get a distinct cauliflower aroma from this batch of gnocchi, so just be prepared. And they are just about done, so you're just going to want to drain them. Take them out with a slotted spoon, drain them, and then plate them up with your favorite sauce. And that's basically it. Okay, so here is the finished product. The gnocchi, I pan-seared them with some vegan butter and some sage. I use dried sage. If you have fresh sage, that might be a little bit better, because dried sage can be really overwhelming. And if you like these videos, please click subscribe. Please make a comment, good or bad. We like them both. And give us a thumbs up and hit that notification bell, so that way you know when our other videos are going to be posted. Hope you had a great Easter and are safe and enjoying some family time.